Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to the World Series and welcome to round 2. This is where the games start getting very exciting, as I've said before, but today is going to be a really interesting one, probably some of the highest level games we've seen so far. So we've got Logica versus oRRaK or oRRaK on Tournament Desert. So Logica in the north with GLA Stealth in the pink colour, and in the south we've got oRRaK, I think that's how we're going to say it, which backwards is Caro, and nobody seems to know who this player is. I wonder if oRRaK chose orange, because I think Caro used to play orange a lot. But I don't think it is Caro. I've checked some replays and I don't think it is Caro. I'm pretty sure I do know who it is, and I'll do another video on that. But I'm pretty sure it's a very high level player. So yeah, keep an eye out for this guy. So he's got USA in the south. So we've got Logica doing a pretty standard build order, it's exactly like he needs to. Don't need to do anything special. He's got a decent army. Stealth against USA. Worker tucked nicely behind there. Might be a little bit difficult for a V to take it out. Pretty standard build order from oRRaK. Just doing Vs and missile defenders is very standard on both sides. Looks like Logica might be going for a tech RPG followed by a tech terror, which is a very decent and hard to beat strategy. So V is going to go and try and stop these. It'll be really handy if oRRaK manages to get in there. I don't think he's going to do. I think the tunnel's going to stop it just in time, and the V's going to take actually quite a bit of damage as well. Is the V going to go down? The V is taking quite a bit of damage and eventually does go down. That's an amazing start for Logica, and that'll do his confidence wonders, and also it's a really decent start taking out a V. You've secured this right hand side, you've secured that bunker, you've got a bit of a flank on your enemy. oRRaK is now forced to bunker off this side because there's no way he can push. There's no time soon is he going to be taking back that bunker unless he's going to prepare some ranges in a which is bad from oRRaK. Completely not paying attention here. He's going to lose probably 2 Vs to that. Really sloppy from oRRaK. On this left hand side he's got a bunker in the meantime. We've got another technical here. I think it's a terror tech this time. So Logica successfully detonating a terror tech, and also on his right hand side still causing some harassment. Bit of a misplay there from Logica. Lost a load of RPGs for absolutely nothing. Could have probably rescued them or at least sent them back to try and run away. Technical is going to run away. Logica hasn't got inside of that. That's a bit of a mistake. In my opinion, you should go inside of that one, because now the Vs can just drive up to it, put some missile defenders in there, and it'll cause a bit of map control to fall into the hands of oRRaK. No Rebel from Logica. I would like to see that at least sent over there. Got a tech terror from Logica, taking out one firebase. That's nice, keeping on the pressure and keeping on the damage. In the meantime, we've got a Chinook prepared from oRRaK, and he's got some ranges in there, I believe, from the detonated supply dock. So he's going to drop that in there and then push with the Vs, I would imagine. We can see Logica now pushing, so Logica knows that this right side is probably going to go down, and rather than fighting it, he's actually coming in here and fighting in the base instead, because he knows there's going to be a limited amount of units there, and he is right to think so. 1 V going to go down, a few missile defenders going to go down over there. That ambulance is going to escape, but Logica has caused the damage that he needs to. Only minor damage, but it's a bit of free damage that he could achieve instead of trying to fight those Vs on the right hand side. So Logica trying to harass here a bit. oRRaK not paying attention to his dozer. Dozer is going to pay the price and go down. These Chinooks are forced off. No Toby missile.
Lost.
Just yet. And the Vs are all way out of position, all driving right into the technicals. Not the greatest of micro there from oRRaK. Every V going down, and I really can't see how oRRaK is going to win that now. Logica completely annihilating all of the Vs. This one last technical might go down, and there's another V out just to save it, but Chinook has gone down there, and oRRaK is getting completely torn apart. This is not looking good for him at all. As I said in the previous game, I thought he made a lot of mistakes and he was very sloppy. oRRaK, and as soon as he comes against a top player that's not going to make mistakes and going to punish him for his own mistakes, then he's going to fall apart, and that's exactly what we've seen in this first game. This is a bit sloppy from Logica now. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just completely throwing techs away and wasting them. I don't know if he's concentrating somewhere else. There's Logica now establishing a supply on this left side. This oil is very slow, to be honest. I would have made that. I would have been at least made the rebel ages ago. But he has been keeping on the pressure, which is obviously more important. So I would probably prefer to keep up the damage and kill all MVs rather than getting the oil. But I think he could have got the oil as well. He has got the capture upgrade now, but not capturing it just yet. We've got 4 supplies now from Logica. Tunnels established on the right hand side. That oil is still not being captured. Technical being chased away. Logica paying full attention. Going to send the technical back. Technical now coming in to deny the Ranger. Logica now on 2 supplies. Still no oil capture. Still no building captured there as well. A bit surprised about that. oRRaK really needs to. I think he's got a big V drop going through the middle. He needs to do something. So this is his opportunity. Is he going to be able to cause enough damage? It depends how quick Logica reacts to this. He's going to pop all his units out of there. So Logica actually not seen this until he's in his base, but now there's going to be a bit of an engagement. These Vs are taking a little bit of damage. A load of technicals going down. There's a bike out too. I think Logica was going to use that bike to capture the oil, but Logica's losing loads of technicals here, but in return though he is killing the Vs, and he's got more money so he can actually be afforded to be trading off. This is oRRaK probably going out of round 1 because the enemy has the whole entire map. Ambulance is now being wasted as well. This is no laser lock from oRRaK here. V just going down, not sure what he was targeting there, but that's completely wasted. oRRaK knows it's GG. His opponent has the whole map. There's no way he can win that, so that's going to be Logica taking game number 1. You can see Logica actually collected loads more supplies from getting that oil, even though it was pretty late in my opinion. He also had 4 supplies for quite a chunk of the game. Units destroyed about the same, but a load of them are technicals and RPGs and Vs and missile defenders. So Logica killed loads of Vs, but you can afford to be trading off the technicals because the technicals are cheaper. So well played in game 1 by Logica. Okay, jumping into game 2, we've got oRRaK in the top left on Sand Serpent, and Logica on the bottom right in the pink. So we've got orange against pink. Again, same colours as that. I think it was the same colours as the last game. We've got a China mirror, so this is pretty interesting, and you don't often see this map played a lot, other than I think I've seen it in the World Series a few times before, but other than that, I don't see players normally 1v1 in on it. Just on the ladder and stuff like that. This whole map is all centered around these 2 supplies because you only have 1 supply in your base, and it's literally these 2 supplies here are double what you've got in your base. So even if you had this one and this one, you still have as much as if you had this base and this base. So yeah, very important this side. I'm just going to increase my scroll size, so it's already full. Feels a little bit sluggish dragging it around. So yeah, this is the highly contested part of the map, so you're probably going to see 2 flamers. First of all, it'll be interesting to see what unit Logica makes first. Flamer from oRRaK, and behind that he's going for a barracks. Logica actually doing 2 war factories, and then a supply behind here as well. This flamer here needs to be greeted by a battlemaster, otherwise that Flamer is probably going to get in. If he makes like an outpost or a GAT or a Flamer himself, now that war factory's going down. Okay, pretty sure that war factory's going down. Logica actually not paying attention for a second there, moving it out of the way just the last minute. Flamer is taking a bit of damage, but I'm pretty sure that war factory is completely going down, and that's probably just based on this. Logica's probably going to lose this area, and that's probably going to be a massive advantage for oRRaK, maybe even taking that game just based on this, because this area is just so important and so hard to take back. Logica now forced to sell that as well, which is a complete waste of building it. And now Logica really doesn't have much. He's got a power, a war factory, and a GAT, and a supply, and now building a barracks. So yeah, that's really, really bad for Logica. He's got an outpost driving right through the center. We've got a GAT versus a red guard inside the little hut there. oRRaK also now getting the oils. He's got a red guard in there ready to capture the oil. He's actually getting the oil now. Yeah, going to go down there, not paying attention. This is looking real, real bad for for Logica, mainly because of this left-hand side. Got a dozer for Logica going down there as well by the flamer. Gat is going to be chased away. Logica now, is he going for the oils? But there's a flamer right by it, so Logica's oil is going to go down as well, which makes it even worse. Logica having to collect the 3 trucks because he's got a spare one. Doesn't make any much difference really. oRRaK now on 3 oils and 2 supplies versus Logica's 1 supply. It's looking like this might be a quick game, or Logica's just going to be bunkered out of the game. Logica now making a Battle Master to try and fight off these flamers. They're the most, I think they're the most useless unit in the game, the Battle Masters for China Vanilla, but the only time you want to make them is when you want to kill a flamer quickly, because they do good damage to a flamer. Actually, I think I can adjust my scroll speed. Like that. And that feels a little bit fast. For anyone who wants to know my settings, I just keep it all standard. It's all there, by the way. Okay, flamer being taken out for Logica. Logica now getting 1 oil on his right hand side. He's also sending a red guard to his death. That's going to be the most painful death. Would you rather be eaten by a shark, or would you rather be that guy right there and nailed with a minigun in the chest? I have quite a dark mind, and I'd always say to my girlfriend, I'll say, would you rather be shot in the leg, or would you rather be eaten by a shark? And I'll give her like weird scenarios like that. It's only me that finds it funny. She doesn't find it funny. Anyway, back to the game. As I thought, oRRaK is just massive now. He's taking over the whole map. A little engagement that happened there, and I think that was it the outpost? I think that was the outpost. A sneaky flamer in for Logica. This might actually cause a bit of damage, but there is a helix there now. oRRaK's just on so much as well. A little bit of engagement here. Power's going to go pretty low, but I'm pretty sure that red guard's just going to clear it up. Outpost going down. This flame is not going to achieve anything. It's just going to completely go down. Was shielded by a bit of the building there as well. 1 gat going down. But now oRRaK just needs to build a Gatling cannon there, and it's GG really. Logica choosing to make a helix. That's probably one way he's going to turn the tide of the game with a helix, but he's really up against it. Logica. He's got a perfect supply placement with 3 trucks there. How amazing. Helix is going to fly in and cause some damage. It's going to be chased away by another helix though, by the enemy helix and a gat, so that helix is already on about 75% HP. That power is extremely low, but oRRaK's got plenty of power anyway. And I don't really like that oRRaK is not building just a bunker or a gat there, because this is the most highly contested area and most important area in the whole map. If you can bunker off that, and there's nothing Logica can do to get back into this game, just because there's so much money there. I mean, how much money do you start with? It's like 30k or something, so there's 60k here, 60k's worth of supplies plus those 2. There's like 3.75k each. So I would like to see that more heavily defended by oRRaK. He's got 1.3k, so he is spending all his money, at least. He is now building a bunker. Let's hope that isn't too late. I think he's got units inside of there as well. He's got a unit inside there, but then Helix is coming in. Gonna snipe the dozer, but I think he's already got a command center built anyway. So maybe actually it was a decent idea building the command center first, because was that potentially his last dozer? Maybe he had psychic powers and he knew the Helix was going to fly in. Obviously, if he'd have built that earlier, then the Helix might not have been there at that point. It's because he waited until later that the Helix came in. Mega sniped the Helix, such a massive win. That was Logica's main unit, but Logica is now on 2 supplies. His oil has been killed on his right side. Oil still exists for oRRaK, and likewise to that one. Logica has been choked out of the game. That once you've got this area, just like I said, it's just GG. You might as well just throw in the towel. So as soon as that flamer hit that wall factory, I knew that was probably GG for him. So well played by oRRaK. Can anyone guess who this guy is? Yeah, I think I know. I don't think it's Caro, because I know it's Caro backwards. But I think that's a decoy. I really don't think it is. I think it's someone else. And I'll tell you why in another video. But Yeah, you can see oRRaK collected so many more supplies, killed quite a few more units. I'm just going to update the score, so now we've got 1-1 for well, not for anyone. It's 1-1. Okay, so game 3, we've got oRRaK in the top left and Melting Snow in the orange, and in the bottom right we've got Logica with Air Force and the Cyan Killer. So let's see what's going to happen here. What army would I prefer in this one? I probably would prefer the Air Force, especially in this spot, because if you are in this spot, then this supply here is much more vulnerable. So you can build a fire base here, but a GAT can still like get round here and park in the back. There's such a wide area for this one to defend, whereas this one you've got this mountain like right here, so it's only like there's a small area there. So really a GAT has to come like somewhere here, and if you can just build a fire base there and put a unit in there, because the enemy doesn't have a bunker over here either, then this area here is much more overpowered for beating a China like this. So Logica going for 2 supplies, War Factory Barracks, pretty standard, and surprise surprise, oRRaK is also doing something pretty standard, 2 supplies and 2 War Factories, both probably the most strongest build orders they can both possibly do, and both probably like the safest build orders they can possibly do. So Logica actually doing exactly as I said, firebase and a unit inside of this bunker. That pretty much, like, if a GAT comes through there now, it's just going to get completely stopped, whereas on this side over here, there's no way you can do that because you've got no bunker. I suppose you've got this, which is damaged and it's not anywhere. Actually, I suppose you could repair that, do a firebase there, but then you're still leaving this whole area wide open if you were USA. But the GATs are now coming, and that one's taking a little bit of damage because Logica's gone inside of there. He has got a limited number of Vs/ambulances out. There's no way that GAT's going to cause any damage. But the reason he's only got 1 V out, he only needs 1 V though, but the only reason he's got 1 out is because he's built the fire bases and built their missile defenders to go inside of those bunkers. But this is a really solid, strong build order from Logica. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect start, perfect defense. 2 perfect supplies, or almost, for oRRaK. Propaganda center going up nice and early. Okay, he's got to defend now against this V / ambulance. I don't know if he's done the propaganda center a little bit too early, because he's probably had to cut the GAT production. He's also floating 2.3k, so I don't know if he's been spamming GATs out of his buildings continuously. One thing I noticed about oRRaK, oh, actually he's using 1. He's using 1 and 2 now. I thought he didn't use. Thought he wasn't using hotkeys on his War Factories. In his previous games, he hasn't been using hotkeys, and he's just been randomly like scrolling across the map, clicking it, and then clicking on the GAT. I don't even know if he uses the normal hotkeys, like pressing G for GAT. But yeah, to me, it looked like he didn't keep up the GAT production. Maybe we can check that later. But Dozer's gone down. 2 trucks have gone down. Now another V is in, and the other Dozer almost. Oh, it is getting hunted. Both Dozers down, both trucks down over there. That V's probably going to go down to his splash damage. Yeah, his own splash damage from the laser lock, because it was just so low. But behind this, that was an amazing attack by Logica. Logica actually perfectly played this game, apart from losing 1 V there, which couldn't really be helped. He's really played this, to me, in my eyes, absolutely perfect. So he's got a few red guards bunkered in the center, going to provide a little bit of a scout, but oRRaK has actually got his most important stuff alive. He's got everything alive that he needs to, because he's got both his supplies, he's got propaganda center power, both war factories, he's got all his trucks. But now he needs to go in and do some damage and do an attack. He needs to. He can't wait until Logica gets strategy center. He can't wait until the fire bases are up. He needs to actually push out and do something now. I think he's waiting for the Vs to push into him. Probably needs another ECM mixed in there as well, but he is low on cash. He is spending his money now. So oRRaK is now. Looks like he's splitting up his units, and this is one thing that's helped me work out who I think this player is. You'll notice he spreads his units out a lot. Like he'll just, like we've seen in the previous game where he was USA against Demo. You see he spread his V's all over the place and like left them pretty empty rather than like congregated in one blob. He would like spread them all over the place, and that's one thing I just noticed he kind of did it there with the GATs and ECMs. And there's very few players who play like that from what I've seen. This V is actually going to get in. Meanwhile, Logica is distracting him over here. Logica is playing ultra safe AOD mode with 1,000,005 bases. No way he wants to be losing this. And to be honest, it might seem boring and lame, but that's exactly what he needs to do. He's got TOV missiles upgrade now. Yeah, there's no way oRRaK can win this in my opinion. Logica is going to have to make some pretty insane mistakes if he is going to lose it. Because Logica is now getting in the base. He's going to kill a first war factory. The supply is going down too, which is going to make these units better. Going to become harder to kill. Propaganda center is going to go down. Everything here is going to go down. oRRaK spots the line of fire bases because Logica had hunted him, so there's nothing oRRaK can make that can break through that unless he just makes an insane amount of GATs, and Logica just doesn't make Vs. There's no way he's going to be breaking through it. So pretty even supplies collected, but Logica destroyed way more. Yeah, like I said, Logica, in my opinion, played that game absolutely perfect. Did exactly what he needs to do, and has got him up to 2-1 now. Okay, so we're on game 4. We're on Summer Arena, and we have Laser against Nuke. So bad army luck for Logica. Logica in the yellow, Nuke in the south, and we've got oRRaK, aka Mystery Man, in the north with USA Laser, orange. So I'm expecting, if oRRaK's on form, playing as good as he did do like in that China vanilla game, then he's probably going to win this nice and easily, because USA Laser is going to beat China Nuke every day of the week. Logica going for a forward barracks, and he's probably, is he going to do a second barracks? No, he's going to do 2 red guards, I would imagine, and then a capture upgrade behind it. He's also got the veteran red guard, so it gives you an indication to what kind of units he's going to be making. He's probably going to be making a troop crawler at some point. Red guards with a veteran, I think they have a little bit more HP and a little bit more damage output, so good for killing Vs and buildings and stuff. Meanwhile, oRRaK is going supply ×2 power standard and war factory barracks. What oRRaK has got to do now is spot the oil capture, which I'm not sure if he's been paying attention to there and seeing what units has been coming out. He needs to stop that oil capture, because if Logica gets all 4 oils, then it's going to be GG, because it's a massive economy boom. Logica doing a bunker on the left hand side there. Tank Hunter going to slowly be making his way over there. I think the capture upgrade is... No, it's not out yet. The red guards are ready to capture. Oh, the capture upgrade is ready now. Must have made it just after that Tank Hunter. The GAT is going to engage a dozer on the right side. V going to stop this oil capture, but he needs to stop all of the oil captures, ideally, and that'll be a massive advantage for him, because that'll be Logica investing like $1,500-ish or $1,600 to capture all those oils. Logica's going to be allowed. That's a mistake from oRRaK going back there. When he killing that GAT is like a secondary important thing, but killing that is the most important thing. Of course, we can see the whole map, but oRRaK can't see the whole map. Notice how oRRaK puts his dozers there and there. Gives him a little bit of notice when there's a GAT coming, the GAT will automatically start attacking it. And it'll give you a notification to let you know something's on the way. So Logica successfully grabs 3 oils. And the Vs are coming down now, not killing the oil, choosing to engage the Battlemaster. Oh man, you see what I mean about this? If this was Caro, who was playing, I don't know how many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, Caro would not make mistakes like that. Caro's micro and speed and stuff was really immense. That letting a Battlemaster really close there is a really big mistake. But then again, if you've been out of the game for years, would you be a bit rusty and stuff? You probably would actually. Loads of Vs going down there. Real good success for Logica. Tank Hunters on this right hand side now. Going to go inside of this bunker. Logica upgraded to a propaganda center and is also getting out a second war factory. Two battle masters charging down this right side. It's looking very, very good for Logica. Logica's once again on form. He's not going to get it inside that bunker though. And that red guard's going to go down. Not a major loss, but it would be annoying if Logica did get in there for oRRaK. Got a drop, and it was at 2 Vs. Nice. He's probably going to try and take out the dozer in the propaganda center, and that'll be a really nice win for him. Propaganda center, of course, doesn't have much HP at all, so it can go down pretty easy. ECM is going to try and defend it, but not able to. The Overlord is coming in. In the meantime, we've got a V or missile defender at least going down. The ECM is going to go down. This has worked out a really good drop for oRRaK. Recognizing he needs to do something and stop that propaganda center, because once Overlord and ECMs come out, it's going to be really hard for him to deal with. You should evac that now and try and laser lock the Overlord, but I don't think it's going to cause enough damage to kill it. In the meantime, those battle masters have gone down. Yeah, he's killed the propaganda center, and now has he dozer hunted? I think he's got no dozer left. Yes, that's the Logica's last dozer, so now oRRaK just needs to kill some important buildings, kill that power, kill or just bunker the whole map. Kill the oils at least, because Logica's on so much money at the moment. Quite a few tank hunters in there. It'd be nice to kill that battle master now. It'd be to just take a few shots from those Vs, because they're loaded with missile defenders. From what it looks like, there's quite a few missile defenders in there. So now Logica doing a massive imp spam through the center. You can only make tier 1 units. Lotus going down there. So actually, that was I didn't even see that. Okay, so Logica's are going all out now. oRRaK under a little bit of pressure. Is oRRaK just going to go for the base trade, or is he going to try and kill these Overlords? I think he's going to try and kill the Overlords. A lot of these Vs look quite empty. There are a few. But oRRaK actually choosing to go for the base trade situation, which... that's a 50-50 decision. I probably wouldn't have done it myself, because you don't know how successful it's going to be down here. You don't know if there's going to be... if there's mines on a few of these buildings, for example, it's going to take you way longer to go through than it is for this army here to tear through these buildings. But oRRaK does have a dozer, and if he puts it inside of a Chinook, he can rescue it and go and save it like over here, or place a scaffold or whatever. So it's a bit of a base trade situation now. The base for oRRaK is getting completely obliterated pretty fast. There is still 2 supplies left though. In the meantime, we've got these Vs charging in, and barracks going down, ambulance going down. Power is very shortly going to go down, which is going to slow Logica's production massively. These red guards are slowly taking damage. I imagine the supply is going to go down. We've already got a scaffold placed, we've got a dozer going down, but I don't know if that other one got rescued. I think it did. The way the Chinook's moving over here now, so if that survived, then it's probably going to be Logica's game, because oRRaK's game, because you can just finish building this power, maybe build a barracks, maybe build a 5-ace or a laser turret or something. Or even just re-establish his base. Low power. He's got 1500 though, so it's not massive. But Logica's slow to kill that building on the right. This Overlord is taking a bit of damage. I might even go down. Dozer is now building a new power plant, and Battlemaster is coming in, and this is going to be very, very close. A super close game. Dozer is now taking some heavy damage. There's a new scaffold been placed here on the left. I just saw that appear. And I think Logica thinks this is the last building. This building is taking so much damage. He needs to just cancel that now, because it doesn't matter. Logica's probably disappointed there to see he's not won the game yet. There's another scaffold placed on the base. Logica's last building now. Oh no, sorry, this is the last building. Now this is the last building. Now it's been killed. Logica desperately searching for the last building now, which is over there on that left hand side, but these Vs are taking some heavy damage. Are they going to be able to kill the supply in time before this Battlemaster can cause some damage? Is oRRaK paying attention? The trucks are now coming in. Desperate attempt to try and save this, but I think it's going to go down, and Logica is out just from this last scaffold. How close of a game is that? Absolutely insane. Really close. So actually it worked out. That base trade situation luckily worked out for him, but only by the skin of his teeth. And that you can see the massive eco boom that Logica had from just collecting all of them oils. Just going to update the score, so we're now on 2-2. Well played by oRRaK, pulling it back. Despite double the supplies collected by Logica, still managing to win. It just kind of shows how imbalanced that matchup is and how hard that would have that was for Logica. oRRaK destroying way more units. But yeah, for USA Laser, it's just so much easier. But once Logica gets them oils, he's definitely in for a strong fight, which is exactly what we saw. So good game and well played to oRRaK. So we're on game 5 and we are tied at 2-2 so far. This time we've got oRRaK in the north on Lagoon. He's orange and stealth, and in the south we've got Logica, China Vanilla in the red. But once again, unlucky army for Logica. He's going to have to play absolutely perfect. He's definitely not an unwinnable matchup. He can definitely win this if he plays absolutely perfect. He's going to go for a forward supply. If it was me, would I do that forward supply? Probably not, just because it's a lot more risky. Because if a terrorist goes over here, there's also a terror car, and the enemy gets a tunnel established. It's a bit risky, because then if you lose this area, yeah, I don't know. It's just my thoughts. You can of course just do 2 supplies, 2 war factories, or you can do 2 supplies. You can do a barracks over here and try and bunker off this side. It's probably the route I'd try and go down. I've got a worker there, going down to the truck. Obviously he's not been researching about where you can tuck your worker. Remember I did a video, I think it was called like 5 pro tips. You can tuck your worker in certain places. I think actually my places were there, and I think there was one there as well. Actually, if he'd have done it there, it might have been successful, but the flamer is probably just going to come out and kill it. Truck is running forward and going down slowly to the tunnel. It shouldn't really get any kills, I would imagine. Maybe 1. It's going to get 1, but the truck's surviving on 0. 0 HP somehow. Technical now going to come in and finish that. It's probably going to vet it up, and it's also going to gain a scrap for him as well. No scrap deny from Logica, although that was in a tight position. Flamer now coming in the right hand side for Logica. Logica late to secure this left hand side because he has done this forward supply instead. Perfect supply placement. Unfortunately for Logica, he's not going to be able to get inside of there. Logica is going to realise that very soon, probably now, but now it's been targeted. Probably going to want to put that inside of there, but he's not paying attention. I think he's looking over here instead. Actually, the Flamer has gone down and missed that, but he did do scrap deny. Preventing the technical from scrapping up even more. Is he going to scrap deny this one as well, though? Actually, if you saw what oRRaK was doing there, he was force firing the ground, waiting for Logica to do that scrap deny. So Logica would have lost 500, but I think it would have been worth the 500 loss. There was a 50% chance you could have lost it if you could have placed it and cancelled it really quick in between the shots. But now this is a super tech. That $500 is definitely worth it, because that $500 you could have saved, you could have lost there, has already just killed an $800 unit. So it was definitely worth the 800. Now he's harassing. Now he's killing a truck. So that, in my opinion, is a big oversight from Logica. Massive mistake. You definitely should have used that, because look at all the damage it scores now. It's already killed 4 units. Two trucks, 1 GAT, 1 flamer. The terrorist is going to do the Jesus walk across the mines, like walking on water, walking on mines. Terrorist 0-hour edition. But now this is going to be just so hard. He could even just probably engage both of these GATs and probably still win the battle. So yeah, that was a massive mistake from Logica. He was doing really well up until that point. Logica now on 3. Oh no, he's not on 3 supplies because he's lost this one, so he's now on 2 supplies. There's a big attack on this left hand side. That bunker is nice and full though. 5 units in there, and massive mistake from oRRaK, letting the technical take all the damage. Good targeting from Logica, but oRRaK really keeping it the pressure. Logica floating 3k there, or 3.2k. The GATs are now going to chase down the RPGs, but the GATs now need to go back. That one's taking quite a bit of damage, needs to go back and repair. There's no point engaging with that one anymore, just needs to go back and repair. Tunnels now established really defensively from oRRaK, really playing defensive. He has no map control apart from this left hand side. You can see like all of this middle, he doesn't have it at all. We've got an outpost there. It's just as generals gentlemen would say, a scout post. Just scouting. Flamer is going to go down pretty easily to the quads. Going to cause a bit of damage to the quads, but they can just go in the tunnel and repair. Logica, what the hell is he doing with his GATs? Just throwing GATs away for absolutely nothing. I think he was trying to stop that tunnel from getting up, but Yeah, a bit of a risk. Especially when there's a Vet 3 quad there. We're going to be taking some damage. Supply is going to be sold. That's a really good decision. Those are just going to be left out in the open. Of course, that's probably not going to escape anyway. But barracks is now going to be sold. Logica's third supply is re-established. Very nice. oRRaK recognizing that there is either a Lotus or a outpost in the region, and it might run over this truck. Not the truck, it might run over the rebel. So oRRaK really good control on this left hand side. Yeah, Logica doing the right thing and just leaving that outpost there. She's providing us such a massive scout. This scout is left out in the open. Loads of quads going to go down now. Logica's own oil is going to be killed. And we've got a sneaky flamer in the back here. Really, really nice. It's just actually, is that sneaky or just walk straight through? I think it's just walk straight through. That's really, really nice. Probably going to kill all them workers. It probably won't kill the spy, but it's going to kill all the workers. That bunker is still there. Bit annoying for oRRaK, but he doesn't know there's only one RPG in there. One tank hunter, sorry. Flamer killing the enemy oil. That's really, really nice. So oRRaK is in a good position, but not the best of positions, because he's lost his oil now. He's also just lost a load of workers there. He doesn't have this bunker, or like any kind of forward tunnel here. Only collecting with 4 workers. Building a palace in the back. Does have a Vet 3 quad, which is really strong, and it's going to help him with these engagements because it's caused so much more damage. The DPS is so much more increased that it helps you take out them flamers so much more easily. Logica is now on 3 supplies. This one will soon be mined out. He's only got 5k-ish left, and then he's got this little pile here, which is about 2.75-ish or whatever it is. So in terms of money, then we've got 1,000 for oRRaK, 1,600 for Logica. oRRaK doesn't know it, but he could easily just kill that bunker now and completely deny that whole area. But he's probably expecting there's going to be 5 units in there again. A massive attack from Logica now with flamers. Quite a few quads going to go down. Is that 2? 2 quads going down so far. A few RPGs. Tunnel is going to be going low. This flamer isn't flameballing yet. It is now. But these flamers are taking an immense amount of damage. That one's probably going to go down. Unfortunately for Logica, he's only got 1 left now. These quads are going to come in from the side and cause a little bit of damage to this gat. The quads are going to be chased away, and unfortunately it's going in the tunnel for Logica. They're just going to go and repair and then probably pop out again. 1 quad actually does go down. Quads coming in from this left hand side now, picking off the last or second to last flamer. There is another flamer now. Quad stepping out of line there a bit, and oRRaK is under immense pressure. This is a massive push from Logica, actually working out very good. It's gone a little bit quiet. We'll both sides go back and reconvene, regroup. I'd like to see that repaired there from Logica, because then that kind of defends that supply. Nice mines there as well. I don't think I've seen Logica like sending his damaged units back. Like, I'd be sending that one, and that one. Them 3 gats, I'd be sending them back to the war factory and just kind of forgetting about them, or waiting until they come back. There's no point engaging with that. There's absolutely 0 point. Because he's just going to go down instantly and give the enemy some free XP. Buster's now out for oRRaK. Of course, he's got the palace out. These busters are going to help massively with dealing with the flamers. Also popping out the outposts. Bit of a mistake there from oRRaK sending the radar van first, and if he was planned to do that, tanking the damage, it worked, but the radar van doesn't actually have that much. We've got another flamer here from Logica on the right side. We've got a massive push still. Flamers managed to make it to the war factory, and the war factory is going down. The tunnel here is going down as well. This push is working out really, really well played by Logica. He's floating 5k though, which I don't like that. Because he's not, although he's in a winning situation, it looks like he's winning the game. If he goes to lose on this game later on, then it's probably, you can probably put it down to a few things like that, like floating 5k. You want to be upgrading to maybe to a 3rd war factory. You want to be pumping out more units more consistently. I don't know if he's been pumping them out consistently, but you don't want to be floating 5k. Maybe you want MiGs out as soon as you see the buses. You probably want to do Black Napalm MiGs, because Black Napalm MiGs good for. Oh, Jarman is out now, so tank hunters are going to be going down. This is going to. Oh, that flamer has killed the palace. So really important building there going down for oRRaK. Command center now going up. So tunnel now going down. And oRRaK's base has been pretty much completely cleared out. Palace has of course gone down. Bounty is now out. I just heard carpet killing that, and I heard artillery killing that. So, but all of this has been killed, and that's bounty is out for oRRaK now. So you can see actually, even if both his supplies have just been killed, he's actually got a lot of money, and every unit that he kills is going to be more and more money in the bank. Logica now should be completely mined out, which he is. He's also mined out here, so actually maybe in banking that little bit of money isn't such a bad decision. Bus is very close to escape there with a load of tank hunters in there. This whole area here has been cleared out now by Logica, bar last 2 tunnels, but these 2 tunnels are going to be important for oRRaK because these 2 buses are really, really strong. They're going to just obliterate everything actually, completely destroying all of these units. Them 2 outposts are now empty, so that's why they're not shooting at the moment. Black Napalm now is out, and we do see an airfield actually, just like I wanted to see. Ooh, that bus is dangerously close to death, so it needs to get inside the tunnel. oRRaK, of course, doesn't know that there's MiGs on the way, so he's probably going to be using his buses out openly on the field. But then he's going to be surprised when the MiGs come in. I think it's 3 MiGs to take a bus down to its shell. Outpost going down. You see it got $80 just from killing that. And then plus any tank hunters, he gets more money from that as well. The trucks are here. Are they going to stop this whole area in time? That could be a good little win for Logica. Just a little bit too slow, and going to allow that supply to get up, which means he's probably going to finish that tunnel at some point. 2 MiGs are now in the air for Logica. That was a nice hit, because if oRRaK had popped there, then probably the units that popped out would all be extremely low or die. Especially quads would go down. Because Logica didn't run over them workers. Now this tunnel and supply has been re-established, which is going to be a problem, because that's going to allow oRRaK to get so much more money. I know there's not much left, 3.5 and 7k, but it's still 7 or 8k at this point in time in the game is really, really important. You can see Logica's really up against it now, because he's literally got 3k there. That's mined out. I would sell the supply, and he's got 3 trucks left in here. Don't need 3 trucks here, so I'd send 1 back here. MiG's really nice strike, killing the carpet is coming in now, and that is it would have been a really good hit if it was just a little tiny bit earlier. Tunnel is probably going to go down. Truck is going down, but that really shouldn't have gone down, because it should have been over there collecting. That's I shouldn't say that was a mistake, but actually that's probably worth it. 1200 to stop this tunnel getting up again. So oRRaK has still got 3 quads here. One of them is very powerful and elite. I'm sorry, heroic. Scrapped up quad. Looks like the buses are scrapped up too. At least that one there, because he's got the battering ram on the front. I think it gives it a little bit more armor against certain attack types. I don't know exactly what though. So the game is slowing down a little bit now. We're in the 14-minute mark. We've still got a scout post here and here. You see how massive, huge range they give though. Such a good scout. And here, so you can see basically the whole map, and that has helped him throughout this whole game. Let's got to get on the right side. This has still only got, I thought it only had 1 in it. It's got 4 in it now. I must have missed when the other few went inside of it. This is going to go down though to the MiGs. Really nice strike from the MiGs. Got another 2 MiGs up in the air, circling ready to strike. One mistake from oRRaK is he didn't take that terror car in the center, and if he did, what could he have killed in the center? Because that terror car is really powerful. In the beginning, maybe you could have stopped this dozer from building. Maybe you could have stopped that first flamer. Maybe you could have killed one of the dozers. Is Logica on no dozers? No, he's on a command center in the center. Okay, so Worker has somehow got back over here. Then if you walk that down, mines are going to strike. And the bus is just going to escape before they all fully establish. That's really nice. oRRaK has got a Worker right by, so that they should all be revealed. You can see oRRaK can see all of them, and they're just going to be slowly ripped up by the Worker. Mines are so annoying when you can't see where they are and they kill some of your important units. And like a surprise. There is an artillery coming in now and a carpet. So you can see how much of a problem this side is for Logica. A bit of a misplaced artillery there. Of course these tunnels are stealthed to Logica. But you see these buses are just so powerful. 2 MiGs coming in now and striking the bus. Actually killing the bus. Going to kill that as well. Other buses are going to go down. This bus is actually completely going to go down. Everything's getting evacuated. The most important unit does get evacuated, so he's got the Jarman back. He's still got a few quads out. No black market, I don't think. He had 4.7k there. Is he building a black market now? Yeah, just as I say that. See, great minds, great minds. The Jarman now probably going to take out the Flamer and then send the Worker to go and capture it and then flame this. But the MiGs are back in the air, and if Logic is paying attention... What I would have done there is, I know it takes a little bit more micro, but I would have just circled them, wait for the enemy to get the Flamer, and then kill it, because then you get the XP. MiG a little bit out of place there, killed one quad, but actually pays for it with its life. Not worth it, because MiGs are more expensive. But Logica's got the weaker army here, so he's going to have to... he is up against it for sure in this game. And this is actually going to make it 3-2 for oRRaK, if oRRaK is able to hold on and win this. oRRaK has still got this supply over here. It's going to be mined out very soon though. Still got this supply, but also going to be mined out. But this is the last big supply left on the map. And this is all because of that build that Logica did in the center, in the beginning, I mean. Pretty decent strike there, able to split his missiles. And bus is going to go down actually. I thought it wasn't going to go down, but 2 quads and a bus from 3 MiGs I think it was, is pretty decent. But now the supply is going to go down for Logica, and Logica really mustn't have too much left. He's got no supplies unless he's got like a cash hack, or if he's got a Lotus. He hasn't got a propaganda center anymore, so... or did he ever have a propaganda center? I can't remember. Don't think he did. So we've got to see what Logica can see. Logica can see that building there. Nice strike from Logica there. Killed both the quads. Thought he was going to use all 4 on 1. That would be a mistake, but he did manage to kill both the quads, which is really nice. I say about oRRaK getting Worker shoes, but actually now it's probably pointless because it's too late. Because everything's mined out. Really nice strike from the carpet there, killing the bus, killing the radar van, killing it like 3 RPGs. Bus is going to go straight down, not even to the shell. MiGs are back, killing the Worker, killing some RPGs, and actually he sniped the Dozer. I'm going to try and take the Dozer. Dozer's now going down. I don't think he built power in time. It looked pretty quick that Logica killed that. The quads are now here, and he's going to try and take out this bunker. A bit of a risk from oRRaK. He does have a load of money though. He could upgrade to AP ammo. That's one upgrade I'd like to see, AP ammo. This supply is now completely taken for oRRaK, and Logica is completely lost out on this supply. Probably would cancel or finish that tunnel. He does have Workers back in home. Got Workers here as well. So you could use them Workers actually to start collecting from here rather than remaking them. Mines have now been placed. Supply is being taken out. But actually, cancel just in time. I don't know if that would have finished or not. I think it probably would. I think it probably would have gone down. But it's a good idea just to cancel it, play it safe, and they can rebuild it later. It's not like he hasn't got the Workers. He's got plenty of Workers. Loads of terrorists out now. Not quite sure what they're going to be doing. So there's nothing oRRaK could have done to defend that. Flamer's just going to take out the terrorist. Don't know what the terrorist was thinking. MiGs and Flamers really powerful against stealth. The Flamer there is going to be taken, which is going to cause a little bit of a problem. You can kill that now with the MiGs, just with 2. oRRaK's still floating 3.5k. I would love to see him get AP ammo. I think that's one mistake. Or one thing that I'd do differently anyway. Worker's going to go down here on the right side. Of course, oRRaK is going to... As I said, of course, Logica is going to spot that because he's got the outposts everywhere. Both trucks going to go down, but one truck was already sniped anyway. This here is really low.
A warrior has fallen.
Body's going to take out that. That should force fire the ground. If it force fired the ground right there, I'm pretty sure it would have got it. Artillery is now coming in, and the carpet are going to take out the black market, and the palace is going to take out both. Ooh, really unlucky. The palace just surviving. oRRaK, I think, is saving a bit in the bank rather than getting the AP ammo, and the reason he's doing that, I think, is because let's say his quads now walk over some mines, or he walks over a carpet or something and needs to rebuild them, then he's still got the money to do so in the bank. Or let's say his I don't know, his palace goes down and he wants to rebuild it to get a job, and he's still got that money to make the decision. He doesn't know what's going to go down, so he's banking a little bit, because at the moment he doesn't really need to spend that money. He can still afford to keep it. But whereas if you spend every penny, there is literally nothing else you can make. So I think actually he's saving it so he can make this supply. MiG's now back in the area. Tunnel is going to go down. Really well played by Logica. But now 3 tunnels in this back area, and he literally has 4 MiGs, a GAT and an outpost. There's still a GAT over here. I probably would start using that GAT to fight now, because this outpost can see everything that's coming. So if anything ever coming, you can use the MiGs. So I'd use that outpost and the GAT to fight right now. Good strike on the supply. If you had AP ammo there, you might have been able to kill a few more MiGs. I don't know, maybe. But that's why I like AP ammo, because it causes 25% extra damage. So every quad is 25% more powerful. I think it's 25%. Yeah, I think it is. So if you've got like 4 quads and it's 25% more powerful, it's basically like having an extra quad for free. You basically like firing with 5 quads. So it is a really powerful upgrade, and an upgrade I really like. Don't know if I'd like to see... would I like to see that supply sold? Probably not. Actually, yeah, I probably would like to see that supply sold. Because if he loses an arms dealer now, there's probably no chance of him remaking it. Because he doesn't have that much money on the field. Mines are going to kill the quads.
A warrior has fallen.
But loads of MiGs are going to go down. I think that's 2 MiGs gone down. But you see, if he had AP ammo, these battles would be so much easier. Because they just tear through China's units just so much quicker. Double support powers coming in now for Logica. So we've got a carpet and a mine drop or EMP. Yeah, mines. Carpet coming in and killing the workers. This supply has been harassed so much. Poor workers. I wouldn't want to be a worker working in that supply, because I know I'm pretty much going to go down. Oh, these MiGs are out of position. If you had AP ammo, maybe could both of them have gone down if he wasn't walking at the same time. Supply hack for Logica steals 1500-ish right there, which gives him an indication of how much money oRRaK has got. MiG coming in by itself though, and it's not going to achieve anything. Is actually MiG's gone down. Are all the MiGs down? I think the MiGs are all down now. Command center built in the center. I usually like to build the command center at the side of the map, because this is, when the command center is being attacked, you can produce a carpet, and the carpet literally comes from the side of the map and it has no warning for the enemy. So I usually don't build it in the center. I usually build it on the side. Supply is going to try to be re-established, but literally Logica is on an outpost with 1 RPG inside of it.
Unit lost.
Of course, oRRaK, I don't think, knows how much money Logica has got, because for all he knows, he could have a full internet center, like maybe perched behind here, or I don't know if you can build it on there, but like way back here. But of course, we know Logica hasn't got anything, but I don't know how much oRRaK knows. oRRaK is probably holding out to wait for level 5. He doesn't have a radar van. Doesn't have a... ooh. See how much black napalm damage does to quads. It's made it pretty low already. These workers again getting harassed. He does have a radar van. No radar scan though.
Our base is under attack.
So Logica providing more of a scout for himself here, just checking out how much oRRaK actually has. And I think Logica realizes that oRRaK really doesn't have that much. Artillery is now coming in across the map. We can see it here across the map. It's going to be placed again. I really wouldn't. How many times these workers been killed? Like if you had a job and you had to work here, would you really want to work on this supply, knowing the death rate of the workers? I know I definitely wouldn't. Supply actually completely annihilated. Down to the hole has got about 30% or 35% of its health, something like that. Now it is down. Worker, oh, he's getting flamed, toasted a little bit. Jarman now vet 2. Is he going to walk on the mines? So oRRaK is using the radar van to scout out the mines. Both the worker and the radar van can see mines. It's just the radar van can, I think, see a little bit further. Worker has to be kind of right on top of them before he can discover mines. oRRaK has got no money. He needs to sell that supply, and I'd sell that palace as well and build a supply with it instead. Because I don't see why you need that supply anymore. I don't see why you need that palace anymore either, actually. Yeah, because I'd be selling that and rebuilding the supply. It's way more important than having a palace. I mean, what is he going to build? He can't build a Jarman anyway because he's got no money. He needs that money. End of story. Is selling the palace now, but a little bit slow. So Flamer is going to go over here. Is he going to walk on the mine zone? No, he's just out of range. That's going to kill all the mines and kill the supply. Flamer for Logica is going to clear out this. I don't know where he even got that Flamer from. Ooh. Carpet. Bit overkill for one Flamer, but it was either that or the command center was going down. Flamer then is sniped. I've got another mines produced here. That outpost now is going to be scanning that.
That was a lot of work.
So they're revealed. oRRaK now building the second supply, a little bit slower than I would have done it. I would have sold that supply in palace ages ago. Let's see if he had workers' shoes as well, which is only $1,000. He could have easily built it because he had a black market. You see these workers going to get absolutely nailed again. Ooh, actually they all survived because Logica quits. Logica is now victorious. Really up against it. He's 3-2 down to oRRaK, and I'm just going to update the scoreboard. So we've got 3-2 to oRRaK. Really, really good game. Loads of units destroyed from both sides there. Loads of supplies collected. Big mistakes from Logica. Why I think he lost. He didn't scrap deny that super technical, and that super technical caused an immense amount of damage early on. Imagine if that technical hadn't killed that supply. It hadn't killed them 2 trucks. It hadn't killed the Flamer and the Gat, and just caused generally more problems for Logica. If Logica had to stop that, that could have swung the game, because it was very close in the end, wasn't it? It was very, very close. But yeah, really well played by oRRaK. Mistake from him, first of all, was not going for that Terror car in the beginning. That could have caused some big damage or problems for Logica, and maybe could have ended the game a little bit sooner by killing 1 or 2 trucks in the beginning. But really well played by 2 top level players. So yeah, GG, and on to the next. Okay, so welcome to game number 6. Are we on 6? Yeah, we're on 6. Okay, so we've got oRRaK on Homeland Rocks. oRRaK in the north with GLA Vanilla. In the south, we've got USA or Logica in the pink. What would I prefer here? Probably the GLA, because it's a nice wide open map. You can get technicals behind here with RPGs. You can get behind here or here. You can harass all over the place. You can get tunnels and garrison these quicker and easier than the USA. And also this left hand side is nicely bunkerable for the GLA. oRRaK once again not going for the 2 Terror cars, which are really really powerful for the GLA. I think it's because he's doing 2 terrorists instead to defend at home. So actually that's not a bad decision. Drone placed nicely from Logica. It's not going to get scouted by the tunnel. Dozer drop from Logica. Logica's going to run over the worker producing the war factory, but the war factory can just be built by one of these workers in here. A little bit slow, but the worker is because it's running through. But the Dozer is going to be chased away by either the terrorists or the RPGs. On this left side, we've got a tunnel established. I think I heard or saw a tunnel being established there, and we've got a worker here from oRRaK as well. That dozer is going to be chased away. I would probably ignore that dozer and now go in and do your damage, because now is when Logica is like at his weakest. He's only got a few Vs, only got one missile defender out. But where if you're chasing this dozer, you're buying Logica more time. Oh. Would have preferred to probably RPG'd that. Did Logica scrap deny that? I don't think he did. I think the technical vetted up, and the Chinook is now going to come in and start mining from oRRaK supply. oRRaK just needs to put one RPG there and it'll slowly kill it. Logica will be forced off it. Letting your enemy collect from your supply like that. You're lucky he's not collecting now, so he's been harassed and having money stolen from him. One thing to note about oRRaK, if you're trying to work out who this player is the control groups he uses. So you see he's using one there on his army. So I've been looking through some replays trying to work out who this player is, and yeah, I've found another player that uses. There's a very rare amount of players that use one for their main army. So we've got a tunnel established on the left-hand side for oRRaK, and he's going to get in the supply line, going to cause some problems for Logica. Because of Logica's dozer drop, and because oRRaK was slow in. Well, because he went to kill it and slow in causing any damage, Logica's going to charge through the center and cause some damage. This is where Logica is at strongest, because with these 3 Vs and an ambulance, he's going to be able to close down that war factory. Let's see how oRRaK can handle this. Needs to repair that war factory. Logica a bit slow to move out of the way. 1 V going to go down a bit. Ambulance is going to take a little bit of damage. But oRRaK doing exactly what he needs to do. And actually, now that 3rd V has gone down, that's going to be much easier to defend. I would now regroup with the technicals and with the RPGs and go again. Unfortunately, all the V's going down there for Logica. That's a massive loss for him, and maybe that's Logica going out, because you can't really afford to lose that amount of V's early on and still win the game. oRRaK is only collecting with 2 workers, not repairing his war factory. 5 workers there. Logica is being harassed back here. Logica actually only collecting on 2 Chinooks. Logica taking a bit of map control back in the center. oRRaK a bit of a mistake there, not putting an RPG inside of that. It's going to lose the whole tunnel for that. Quad is going to be sent on the right hand side, going to get back in the supply line here. Crusader is going to fight the quad. And Logica's really feeling the pressure now, because he's been harassed quite a lot. He's about to be harassed even more, and he's just lost all that massive group of V's. So yeah, he's really feeling the pressure. I think he's against 3 supplies. GLA has pretty decent map control. This Crusader's been chased away. We've got a tech RPG now harassing this supply, which is really difficult for Logica, because now he's got to go all the way up this mountain, fight it, and in which case that technical could just run away, but his technical's not running away. Logica's just fighting it, and oRRaK's not paying attention at all. I think it's because Logica is using a V over here. Good laser lock there. Technical's probably going to go down. Yep. Quad needs to go back over here and cause some more harassment. Needs to keep it the pressure. These are now coming down the back of this mountain. Palace now being established for oRRaK. I don't know, would I like to see Palace, or would I like to see another arms dealer? I probably would like to see, if it was me, I probably would at least get a demo trap and a tunnel here. I'd get a few more tunnels and a second arms dealer, because then you're going to be much more mobile with more units on the field, with loads more technicals. Also, I'd like to see this map control in the center taken back, because at the moment Logica can just charge through the center, and that's really dangerous. If Logica can just charge through the center like he did earlier and close down the war factory, that is really dangerous. Like he's going to do now, actually, he's going to charge straight through the center. So yeah, oRRaK a bit slow with his map control. oRRaK also going for a 4th supply. Logica coming from behind. Another mistake from oRRaK, not going inside of these bunkers. It only costs, well, it's actually free, because you get free RPGs from these tunnels. So I don't understand why you would not go in a bunker. Some units going to vet up. Luckily, though, it's not the actual V that's going to vet up, which is what you don't want. To get the last hit means you're going to vet up. If you get the last hit, just like in League of Legends. Is it League of Legends? Yeah, I think it's League of Legends. When you get the last hit, you vet up. So you need to get the V with the last hit. War Factory going to go down. It's going to vet up some of these. It's going to vet that one up to vet 2. It's going to make it much harder to kill. A lot of casters and commentators won't talk about that. I always will, because it can make the difference between winning a battle and losing a battle. A vet 2V is much harder to kill. Trust me, it's a lot harder to kill. Especially vet 3, it's like, against a good player, near impossible to kill. So, one difference there between me and some of the other casters. I will talk about that quite a lot. Got an engagement down here now. Not sure what he was trying to do with that terrorist, but V's going down, which is the main thing. He's got Logica not collecting again. I don't know if the nukes have actually gone down. It looks like they have. V's causing damage because he doesn't have enough units to fight this, and that's why I would have done two. He does have quite a few techs actually. He's got a nice surround going. And actually that's going to be really, really nice. It's actually managed to take out 1V. Now going to run away, but there are two vet 2 units there. Loads of tentacles going down. This tunnel's probably going to go down, and the War Factory's probably going to get closed down again. Plenty of missile defenders in there, so this is a big problem for oRRaK. This is why I would have done two War Factories. You want to have more units out to try and fight against this, and then go Palace later. Because if you start producing buggies now, there's no use, because he's right outside your War Factory. So Logica now re-established his left supply. Palace is now going down. oRRaK has now got his oil. Logica has not got his oil. Choosing not to get that. He does have money for it. You see what I mean? If that wasn't vet 2, that would have died ages ago. Because it is vet 2, it's going to, not only is it going to self-regenerate its health, but it's also much harder to kill. No Toby missile from Logica. A bit disappointing. The Jarman really lucky there's no drone there. oRRaK really having a hard time clearing this up. Jarman is helping out though. He's managed to take out one. He's taking out the vetted one as well. That's a really big help. Buggy now produced, and Logica's going to have to chase this down. Is Logica going to chase it down and just kill it? Yeah. oRRaK not paying attention. Not sure what oRRaK's even looking at. He's now establishing a left arms dealer on this left-hand side. That V is now heroic. Ambulance is going to take quite a bit of damage there. Probably going to go down actually. Yeah, Ambulance has been blocked by its heroic mate. He's like, I'm heroic. I don't need you. I can regen my health without you. But this guy is like, no, I need you. All these workers are going to get completely annihilated. Oil now going down too. We can see there are units in there. As someone said on a previous comments on one of my videos, you can see if there's sandbags around it, you know there's units inside of there. Worker is just gonna escape. Or on 0. What is it with games I'm casting and units escaping on 0 HP? I swear I've seen loads of them. Oil now being captured for oRRaK, but as long as Logica doesn't make any major mistakes now, he's going to get A10, he's going to get Spectre, probably going to be on level 5 soon, leaflet drop, fuel air bomb, stuff like that. I think oRRaK is going to lose this game. Flashbang's now out. oRRaK, ooh, I was going to say he's not going to evacuate that in time, but he is. That was really lucky, he's saving himself 4 RPGs there. That worker is really living on the edge. But the tunnel is going to be sniped from behind. Don't think oRRaK cancelled that. Looked like it died. You can hear something else being captured. We've got this turret being captured from Logica. Logica obviously prioritising the artillery platform over the oil, which is a little bit strange. But the artillery platform is a big help, because it does provide a big scouting range in the middle, and also it's going to be slowly able to take out this bunker if the flashbangs don't already take it out. So the V's are completely clearing out that right hand side. And these are some long games. I think this is the longest games I've casted so far. Logica, of course, is fighting to stay in the tournament. If he loses just one more game, oh, we've got triple A10. Probably going to be on the Palace. Do you reckon it's going to be on the Palace? Does it kill the palace? I can't remember. It doesn't. Yeah, I would have thought it doesn't kill the palace, so I'm a bit surprised Logica target the palace. As soon as you can see the barbed wire, I think it's the barbed wire, you know he's got the fortified structure. You can see there's like extra sandbags and barbed wire and stuff. As soon as you can see that, I was pretty sure that it doesn't kill the palace, but I wasn't 100% sure, but that's just confirmed it for us. So a complete waste of an A10 there. A10 could have been used to clear out that war factory, and that bunker would have been much more powerful. I think Logica's probably still going to win this one though, because oh, actually there's quite a few buggies out, so maybe oRRaK could still win this actually if he just completely bunkers off. If he's got the bounty upgrade as well, which I don't know if he has. I'll soon find out now if he kills another unit, and I'll pay attention. Doesn't look like he's got the bounty upgrade, so I don't think he's built a command center. So that's a mistake from oRRaK. He's got 4K, so he could easily just produce the scaffold and then cancel it. And then he'd be getting a bounty from all of this, and that'd be so powerful because there's so many buggies out. I wonder if there's a Colonel Burton out from Logica. Colonel Burton is really handy at killing the buggies. Logica now established another supply on the right. So actually, still looking very close, but I'm really disappointed that oRRaK is not getting the... well, he's not got workers' shoes for a start, and he does have a black market. And he's also not got the bounty. A bounty is the difference between winning the game and not winning the game sometimes, so I'm really disappointed. Ambulance is going to charge down the buggies, as you do. Go down. Buggy ammo upgrade is now out. The workers' shoes upgrade. Why do I have to say it every time? It's so much... It's in my opinion, the best upgrade in the game, because when the workers are collected now, it takes 75 off the supply, and you gain $75 in your... He's now got it. You gain $75 in your bank, but when you get the workers' shoes, you collect 75 from there, but you drop off 83. So to my knowledge, they're still taking 75 away, so you're getting an $8 for free every time you collect. So it's free money that you otherwise wouldn't have. That's why it's such a quick upgrade to get. It's so cheap. It's only 1,000, and it pays for itself so quick because if every worker across the map is collecting $8 quicker, it pays for itself almost instantly if you've got loads of workers out. Also, I'd love to see the bounty. I think oRRaK has completely forgot about it, which is alright. When you're under pressure, sometimes you forget these things, which I've done in a couple of one of my games recently, and someone mentioned it to me. I probably could have won with the bounty if I just placed the scaffold. I think it was the Boyka GLA mirror game. Loads of buggies still on the map, gonna chase away these Vs. When Logica sees these amount of buggies, he's probably worrying a little bit because it was looking really good for him. But as soon as you see that amount of Vs and sorry, that amount of quads and buggies on the map and a Jarman, that is just a deadly weapon for GLA to kill USA. Still, I don't think he's realised about the command center, which is a real shame. Definitely on level 3, I would say. At least he's got workers' shoes. Supply drop zone going down for Logica. He's really having a hard time. Comanches are now out for Logica. Personally, I don't like to do Comanches when I'm anything other than air, unless I'm against a much weaker player, and I don't think oRRaK is a much weaker player in this instance. Just because the Comanches can't stealth for a start, they're more expensive. Yeah, basically those two things. Ooh, Jarman really taking a big hit there, and this whole area is now going to be cleared out. War Factory is probably going to be going down. oRRaK recognizing that there are Comanches now on the field. I think Logica's giving away the element of surprise there. He shouldn't have done that, in my opinion. He should have saved them until the GLA pushes out, and then swoop in, kill all the quads and kill all the buggies. And because Logica's given away the element of surprise now, oRRaK's going to always make sure he's got enough quads on the field. Saying that, he doesn't have a War Factory anymore, and oRRaK is making loads of black markets. But if he just made one command center and got the bounty, you wouldn't need all them black markets, because you just get equal amount of money from the bounty or more. So what do you think then, guys? Is Logica going to go out at this moment? Is he going to lose this game, or is he going to win? He's only got 4 Vs, ambulance, 5 Comanches, another supply drop zone going up. He does have an oil though. oRRaK should probably try and kill that oil, TerraTech or something like that. I do hear a Burton. Kill the worker, kill the butt market down to the hole. Tunnel's going to be stopped. Flashbangs are clearing out some stuff here. Logica choosing to push forward, and actually he's going to get inside that bunker. He's going to get inside the bunker, and that's a massive problem now for oRRaK. Loads of the quads going to go down, and the Comanches are now choosing to swoop in. Buggy's being popped at exactly the wrong time, and the Comanches are actually going to clear this up. Comanches, the bunker, the Vs. This is really good unit control from Logica. Controlling like 2 or 3 groups of units there is really good. Logica now pushing forward, getting inside these bunkers. Black market having to be sold off. That one can't be sold because it's still constructing. You can't. It's going to have to be destroyed by Logica. That'll be nice to destroy. He's probably going to get Spectre and fuel air bomb and stuff from that. We do hear a Burton out as well, and the units are going to. Ooh, I don't know what died there. What died? Was it a buggy? Logica doing a really amazing job at clearing out this left-hand side. Completely annihilated the whole left-hand side, and oRRaK wasn't even really able to cause that much damage. oRRaK in the meantime, you see how he doesn't use hotkeys?
A warrior has fallen.
What's he got on one? He hasn't got any hotkeys. I'm just checking now. No, he's not using any hotkeys. Barracks and War Factory re-established. Buggies, oh no. Oh, really unlucky. Lost 4 buggies there, I think. Comanche's now going to swoop in as well and pick off the last one. That's all the buggies gone down. Just based on that, buggies the only thing that are going to be able to kill these Vs, apart from maybe a Jarman. So oRRaK is in a bit of trouble now. He's only got, I think, he's got like 4 quads in there, 4 or 5 quads, and a couple of RPGs maybe. Logica really bunkering off this right hand side. Supply drop zones going down. It's a nice little money stash for Logica.
Enemy
And a really important area that he really needs to protect. Enemy Jarman Kell has been detected. Demo trap has been stopped. Just needs to cancel that. He has cancelled it. He's preparing a tech terror, I think. See AAA 10 coming in once again. Comanches now, some of them are vetted up, we're going to make him a bit harder to kill. Tunnel and a Black Market probably going to go down. A little bit out of his late place that. I would like to see it kill both of them. But Logica just making sure that the Black Market goes down, I suppose, is no problem. Another supply drop zone going down for Logica. It's now on 1200. And oRRaK has been defeated, so Logica remains in the tournament. Really well played and really solid play from Logica. Apart from losing all them Vs in the early game, I don't know if that could have been avoided or not. Maybe with a little bit better micro or a little bit quicker reactions when the technicals were coming. But I think oRRaK's downfall probably was in the beginning when I'm just updating the scoreboard. When he didn't cause enough damage to Logica in the early game. He chose to go after that dozer when I don't think he had to go after that dozer. I think it's go and start harassing Logica and put Logica in the back foot. I think that's what cost him the game. And also making a palace rather than a second arms dealer. Logica, I don't think did he get his oil throughout that whole game at all? Right at the bottom middle. It was a little bit late to get it, but he did capture that artillery platform first. But loads more units destroyed for Logica. Really well played in the end, and supplies collected a little bit more for Logica as well. So well played and a really high level game. Probably one of the best games we've seen so far, especially these last 2. Okay, so we are tied at 3-3, so this is the decider. Who is going out of the tournament? oRRaK, the old pro, supposedly, versus Logica. So we've got a bit of army luck here for oRRaK, in that he's got tank, and Logica has got GLA, sorry, what am I about GLA? China Vanilla. Logica going for a quick barracks. oRRaK, I imagine, he's probably going to do something similar to last time, maybe? Is he going to do his war factory placement here, which actually you don't see a lot of players doing. This map is a bit imbalanced, as I've said before, because this player here, Logica, has got the strongest spot because this supply and this supply are here, but the enemy player here and here doesn't have it, whereas you do here. So Logica's got like a 8k supply advantage, but he does have the weaker army though. Doesn't look like the correct supply placement for Logica or oRRaK actually. Too close and too far. Got Logica doing this war factory back here this time, and a war factory here. Got oRRaK doing exactly the same as before, placing that war factory there. I did wonder if he'd do that or not, and actually doing something different. I thought he might go barracks again, but actually he's done a war factory in the back this time. So he's going to be producing a flamer, maybe? A flamer. And another flamer here. He's going to be looking to get that same attack off that he did before. But at the same time, his war factory is nice and far back to defend. So if you place it there, it's really vulnerable and easy to die. Logica, is he going to be able to secure this left-hand side? Logica is actually forced to do outposts. Logica also going for the oils. He's getting them a bit quicker this time. That one's a little bit delayed. Logica really needs to be playing ultra perfect now because oRRaK is clearly someone decent. And he's literally fighting to stay in the tournament. Well, both players need to play ultra perfect. They're both fighting to stay in the tournament. And when there's like $190 first place, first prize to win. Ooh, really unlucky for Logica. I thought the whole oil is going to go down. Just going to escape. Bit of a mistake there from Logica, losing to a flamer. This Gat will probably go down eventually. It's going to cause quite a bit of damage to the outpost, but it's going to go down. We've got a flamer versus flamer. That flamer is probably going to get over to that supply. Logica does manage to take out that, but we've got a flamer in Logica's base, and it's going to take out the war factory. Massive win there for oRRaK. He's going to take out the power as well. I think he's going to take out the power, and probably a Gat as well. He's going to take out just the Gat or nothing. He's going to take out nothing. Ignore me, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we've got Flamen now pushing forward for Logica on this left-hand side. It's going to be stopped though by the Vet 2 Battlemaster. Logica now has 2 oils. Doesn't have the third one. He's not gone for that yet. Logica now going for a propaganda center. So he's not going for a helix like he did in one of the previous games. Was it the first one or the second one? I can't remember. Second one. oRRaK has established a second supply here, so he's at I would say a money advantage because one supply is probably better than 2 oils. oRRaK also doing the propaganda center. I don't like the placement because one carpet, one artillery can take out all 3 of them buildings. That's actually worked out as a correct supply placement. It's perfect. So and this one as well. So oRRaK's on a massive income, whereas Logica's one supply is not perfect. Logica probably is going to be chased back here by 2 flamers and a Vet 2 Battlemaster, and the longer oRRaK has this supply, the more it swings in his favour. oRRaK also choosing to go and kill his own oil now. He's just checking the middle as well to make sure Logica doesn't have that one. But I think if oRRaK just holds this, holds the line over here on the left hand side, he's probably on for a victory. So it's a bit hard to see actually which units are which. There are Logica's units. They're oRRaK's units. But the flamers are just going to clear all this up, and that's Logica with actually not many units over here. Logica actually floating 2,400.
Unit lost.
Not sure what was in the back there. I think I missed that. So oRRaK is really securing this. Is he going to place a TNT? Oh, no TNT, and there's nothing to defend against that flaming house. That supply is now going to go down. Really big error from oRRaK there. Having four dragons when you really need a Battlemaster in the mix. I think the Battlemaster just went down actually to the tank, and this is not so bad. Logica now losing his second oil, and not able to get the middle oil. The Black Lotus is going to the center, looking like he wants to capture that oil. In the meantime, we've got oRRaK is now on a Black Lotus of his own. Or her own, who knows, it could be a woman. Bit weird over here. Just like units scattered everywhere. oRRaK's got a flamer guard in the corner, guarding that little bit of C in the corner, which, to be honest, I didn't even know that was there. But at least it's secured. Okay, so we've got nuke cannons out for Logica. oRRaK sending his truck back, or it's been forced back actually. Logica's flamer has been disabled.
I will tell you everything I hear.
Unit lost.
I would really like to see Logica contest this area a bit more, because that's the only way he's going to win this game, I think, by getting this left-hand side. Just like, I don't know, just completely, just put a few bunkers here or something like that, and then just put everything here. Even go and build your whole base over here. Not contesting it enough to win this game, and I think New Cannon's already done one big hit there and killed at least one Battle Master or a few more units. Oil's all down. Actually, every single oil there is down apart from oRRaK, so oRRaK is still on a money advantage. This unit here has been disabled. So we're well into the 7th minute now. Nobody has fully established control on this left-hand side, but oRRaK has got the stronger units here. He's got more vetted units because he is tank. Nuke Cannon's going to do a massive hit there. He's going to kill the Lotus as well. Almost killing the Lotus. Really good hit. Logica actually successfully pushing oRRaK back on this left-hand side. Logica also not grabbing this supply here. Could do a bunker there, or a bunker and a gat or something, and secure that area. I would also just place a bunker there and just everything he's got, I'd just go over here now, because if he had everything here now, he probably would be winning this engagement. But now the Lotus and the ECM are disabling everything. It's looking like oRRaK is going to take this area again, and he's got a dozer here. He's planning on taking it. Logica moving out now a little bit slow. Of course, he doesn't know what's going to be in this area, but placing a bunker and like 4 RPGs in there, and sending everything else, like the 2 Battle Masters, maybe the odd 1 RPG. This Battle Master, if he'd have been over here, he maybe could have won that engagement there, and that could have been the difference between winning and losing this game. Logica is still collecting with 3 supplies. 9.6. 9. So actually that would indicate that the perfect supply actually is not as good as 3 trucks. But I think oRRaK was forced off the supply for a bit, was he? Not sure if Logica was, so. So Logica is sending pretty much everything he's got. He's now establishing another supply in the center. Those is going to get killed. Oh, Helix from oRRaK killed 2 units. Nuke Cannon being the most important, and more importantly, escapes with its life before being taken out. Really unlucky for Logica. Logica's now on 2 supplies though, because he has established this one here. He's got a Nuke Cannon seemingly levitating there. Outposts are going to be taken out for Logica. Logica does have a unit inside of there, but it's going to be quickly cleared out by this flamer again. So once again, oRRaK coming out on top on this left-hand side. Logica does have an advantage on this map because the map is imbalanced, because he does have these 2 supplies, whereas oRRaK doesn't have that. Actually, I say it's the perfect supply, but it's actually not, because the trucks are moving. You see it's doing a little number 8 there. Helix is repairing. Oil is still up for oRRaK, so oRRaK probably at a money advantage, you could say, because he has 2 supplies and 1 oil versus just 2 supplies. Artillery is now coming in, and is that going to strike there? It's looking like it is. Yeah, it is. Really well done. That would have killed all the trucks if they were still there, but Logica just in time moved them out of the way. Gat versus Gat. Of course, the tank Gat is going to come out on top. Not only is the tank Gat cheaper, but it's also 700. Sorry, what was I saying? It's also veteran. It's $700 and veteran. That one. Oh, new cannon left out in the open by itself and a battle master. This is looking really, really bad for Logica. It's looking like Logica's going to be kicked out of the tournament. Flamer going to kill the supply. 1500 lost there, not cancelled. Logica's now coming in with a carpet bomb. Feels a bit like the other game where Logica was just trying to use support powers, trying to stop the enemy from collecting. Actually, that just survives. Really unlucky for Logica. Those are also still here. Artillery is coming in and probably going to be going for the... Is it going for the propaganda center? Propaganda center. Good hit. Logica now trying to re-establish supply, but it's going to be denied by the Flamer. Logica's also almost out of money there, so Logica is really in a tight position. To be honest, I really can't see how he's going to win this game, because he needs to spend all the money he's got on building that supply. Oh, actually, he's lost a dozer as well. Well, how did he lose? Oh, dozer's back here. But now, as soon as I see oRRaKs on these two supplies here. Oh, Helix is coming in again, taking out a new cannon. Taking out the outpost. Flamer is going to be TNT'd. And Logica is out of the tournament. Logica recognizing that the enemy had way too much cash. Also his key units have been picked off as well, so well played by oRRaK. Just going to update the score. So we've got 4-3 Logica, so a massive upset there. I was picking Logica to win that, but oRRaK is clearly someone good. I don't believe it's Caro, I believe it's someone else, but let me know in the comments who you think it is. Cheers for watching, guys, and GG.